All right, let's get this shit started. Hey everyone, you're listening to the Bullcast. This is Janzer, and on this Bullcast, we're going to be talking with Grindhead Jim. What's going on? What's going on? I'm drinking coffee, so I'm kind of amped up right now. I got a fire in me. I've been listening to some stuff, people talking some really good stuff out there. I'm like, yeah, I like it. I like what you're saying about gaming. I like what you're saying about the industry and where we're going. I might do something about that or not. I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm not going to do a full breakdown of all the talking points. That's going to be in the description. So if you're a lazy fucker and you can't read, it's not my problem. But I don't want to rattle off all of that again like I did last time. It takes too long. We're going to just jump right in. What we're talking about right here is we're starting off with expectations from video games, and specifically expectations that we had from Bungie and with Destiny. Let's get into it. Oh, God, yeah, no, I know their pedigree. I expected amazing things from Bungie, from Destiny when I first saw it. And I had a chat with a buddy of mine on YouTube, Muddled Muppet, and he was all like, God damn it, I expected more polish. And I'm like, I kind of understand what you're talking about, because, you know, you hear the name, you know their history, you're like, God, this is going to be amazing. This is going to blow shit out of the water. And I think it just was such a huge wall that I don't know any developer would have been able to match up to what the expectations were, honestly.
I agree with that. I've got to say that, you know, people expected this fucking game to like do their taxes and, you know, change the way they look at video games forever. Here's the thing: my taxes aren't done, but it did change the way I look at games. It changed how I bide my time. The only block of vacation I took last year was for Destiny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It may be the same thing unless Sony and their good graces decide to send me to E3 again this year. Please, Sony, please send me to E3 again. You know, being an MVP has its advantages. Last year I got the T-shirt, didn't even have to go. But I would like to go. The only reason I couldn't go is because of vacation. Because Destiny.
Yeah.
But that aside, I just...
It's not the first time that I've heard someone say, what did you do on your vacation? I think one of the guys from Rooster Teeth, I think it was, I don't know if you watch those guys, but Rooster Teeth, I think it was Gus. I think he said during his vacation, he played Destiny.
Yep. Yeah. And
he didn't go anywhere. He just played for a week, you know.
Well, I'm getting better.
I could be wrong. It might have been the other one of the other guys, but I know one of them said, like, what did you do for your vacation to play Destiny?
I actually, at 4:30, I stopped and talked to my buddy. We were doing, he's leveling an alt. And I said, I'm going to help you. I started helping him. I said, oh, look, dude, it's 4:30. I got a podcast I got to do. I haven't eaten all day. I got to eat. So I actually put on clothes, went out of the house, got food, came back. I have started doing that. I didn't used to do that. It would be, all right, whatever. Beer is calories, fuck it. And just start. Yeah. It got bad. I arguably, I've talked about it before. Like the first 6 weeks that Destiny was out, I didn't drink a drop of alcohol.
Yeah.
The reason behind it was I didn't want to be impaired for the gameplay. Sure, I was doing the best that I could, and now I allow myself to have a few beers and so forth. But it just changed so much. Like there was a point before Destiny came out that I was all but done with gaming. I was like, fuck all of this shit, fuck everything. You know, and when E3 came out and PlayStation 4 had their wonderful showing where they just basically trounced Microsoft very soundly, and also Destiny got some good gameplay, and Watch Dogs, you saw some good gameplay, and I said, you know, I don't think I'm done yet.
Yeah.
So I turned in my Xbox 360, 50 some odd games, bought a PS3.
I still have my PS3 in a box.
It's a great console.
Rid of it, although I honestly only used it for a couple of games, one of them being like the Rock Band series and Guitar Hero series. I love that shit.
At this point, with the PlayStation Now service, which works like gangbusters, for essentially $15 a month, you've got access to some of the best games in the library at any time.
Yeah.
Which I use a lot on the PS4 and on the Vita. When I think that service is going to bust out is when it is available on PC. When that happens, shit.
Yeah,
guys like you are going to be like, well, shit, I'll go get a DualShock 4 and we'll plug that bastard in.
Okay, well, I do use my PS3 controller now for gaming. Like I'm playing Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Fucking amazing game. I love melee. I love melee combat. And that game is so beautiful. The only thing about it is the camera, but other than that, oh god, it is so beautiful for melee combat.
Did you see that they teased a sequel?
Okay, now the word on that is that the official word is that it wasn't a sequel, that it was just a similar number, and they're standing by that. Now, if anyone wants to believe that, because I think that was coming from Kojima himself, and Kojima is a dirty fucking liar. He loves to mess with the audience, So I think that, who knows? Right. How can they not make a sequel to that game? I think everybody loved it. I don't think it got enough traction as it could have, but then again, that could be distribution. I'm not really sure.
Honestly, I think that it was regarded as niche before it even hit the market. The PR regarded it as niche, and this was a game much like Deus Ex Human Revolution that you didn't hear about it until about 6 months after it had hit and was gone.
Yeah, yeah.
And people started going, "Oh shit, this game's amazing." Like they're hard at work on like the next Deus Ex too, and they're very hush hush about that as well. They're like, "Oh, well, it's a thing," and they're talking MMO, and I was like, "Oh, you guys, you're killing me with this shit."
I know. I can't see. Here's my problem. I can't spread myself thin through games anymore. Back in the day, I could. Now I focus pretty much on one or two games at a time, and that is it. I just can't. I don't. Most of it actually has to do with my actual job, and I don't have that energy. I don't have the. I just don't have that anymore for multiple games. I have to stick on one game and I'm fine. But to keep up like control schemes and data assets and inventories and all that, and the level that I can take it to, I'm just like, no. One game is enough, and Warframe is going to be it, because in Warframe, I can jump in, I can get my the mechanics of the game, and the melee is what I play that game for. The movement, it's not perfect, but there is nothing else that I know that's like it. So the melee, the weapon selection for melee, the things that I can do just with pure skill, without using abilities, without using cheese methods, that's what I focus on with my channel. And it's funny because in our current community, there's a few YouTubers that are big level or whatever, and they're just kind of coming around to like, oh, melee only, and I'm like, guys, I've been doing it for 2 years.
Right.
I'm like, it's nice to see you join the club.
Exactly.
Thank you.
It was something I like to focus on a lot. When you play Warframe, do you do mouse and keyboard, or do you use a controller?
No. Before being an hardcore MMO player for a while, and even while I was doing MMO, FPS player, hardcore. Like I was I don't give a shit. I'm older now. I was so good that I would just play with pistols, and even like in Counter-Strike, I would play with like the 5.7, the really cheapest, like the least damage, but it had a lot of ammo, and you had to be accurate. It's like, give me the difficulty. That was me. It's like sniping all the time. Just like, let's do it. Let's snipe off. I want to kill you sniper. Down to where I was just running around with the knives, because I was like, fuck it, there's nothing left for me to do. Let me just start knifing people, because I don't getting those conversations in the games where people are like, oh, you're cheating. Oh, he's running a bots or whatever, and I'm like, I don't give a shit. That's how much of an FPS player I would play. I'd go to my job, work my shift, get out, immediately just play Day of Defeat, Counter-Strike, whatever it was, whatever FPS. I played a shitload of Counter-Strike. And I had been playing Counter-Strike when it was an alpha or something like that, from what I remember. I played it all the way through it, I think up to where it was like CSGO. And then I was like, fuck that. I don't want to play that anymore. But I was a hardcore FPS player. So for me, keyboard and mouse, all the way. There's no accuracy I can get out of a controller better than my mouse. The downside is, because of all of that and because of my current job and tech stuff, I have a lot of overuse problems now with my arm. Yeah. Overuse, like nerve pinching issues, which causes pain. So now, in this past couple of years, I like do therapy and stuff, and it's really due to mousing. It's pretty sad.
Well, here's the thing.
I mean, I did a lot of like hard, heavy labor work when growing up as well. Like I used to do roofing as well. I'm sure none of that really helped either on my joints and shit like that. I used to do roofing and we would cut trees and just like, fucking dig ditches and shit for power lines and all that. So, I mean, I've done some heavy fucking labor, and now I work in an office. It's kind of crazy. But, yeah, so I think there's more than just the mousing itself, But I've only recently started using a controller again because I'm like, I can't keep using. I don't have that level of intensity that you need with your muscles to perfectly aim anymore. It's pathetic and it's sad for me, but it's true. I can't do it.
I found that when I was doing drumming full time, and I was doing like that level of playing, plus I'd come home and I'd be doing, YouTubing or Facebook or whatever freaking have you with the mouse at home.
Right.
And then on top of that, video gaming on the controller. By the time like my year was over, like I had just done near irreparable damage to my wrists. They were fucked.
Oh, dude, man, there was a point where I couldn't even feel my hand anymore.
Yep.
It's fucking insane. Yep.
And I ended up, when I left the music industry, and I had stopped working for about 3 months and just kind of relaxed. I wasn't playing a lot of video games. Yeah. I wasn't doing a lot of mouse stuff, and I wasn't drumming at all. Then slowly got back into, working with a mouse, playing video games. Yeah. It helped a lot.
Yeah.
But I will say that now it's kind of coming back a little bit because there was a while there where I was doing like these 13-hour marathons of Destiny. Yeah. I can't do it anymore. It's not that it may.
Do you have problems in your shoulder and elbow, or is it just your hand?
It's mostly forearm, hand, wrist. Mm-hmm. Partially because with the size that I am and my frame, I have wide shoulders. Yeah. I'm a big guy, so I can kind of perch my hands on if I kind of slouch a little bit, I can push my tummy out, and then I've got my hands just kind of rest on my stomach. Yeah. And that's, granted, I have to kind of maneuver to get that. I'm not boogie sized or anything like that. Yeah. But
I didn't know who that guy was. Somebody dropped that name on a comment of my video in one of my videos, and he was like, "Oh, you remind me of Boogie," and I'm like, "What the hell is a boogie? Like a booger? What are you talking about?" I had to go check him out, and I was like, "Oh, this guy does a lot of podcast, audio cast kind of stuff in gaming," and then he does like a weird, crazy, like alternate character, and I'm like, "Alrighty, man, rocket, I guess."
He's making a good living off of it. So
I fucking bet. I believe it. I can see the view count he has. Jesus. Yeah.
I just got my very first YouTube paycheck a couple days ago. $100.
Doing it through your own means, or are you going through some MCN?
No, it's all by myself. No
yeah,
MCN.
You should stay that way. I didn't know any better, and I thought that at the time when I joined up with my partner Maker. I was like, oh, okay, they're going to offer me some kind of protection, right? This is what this is, like a racket. I pay you a little bit of money, and you guys keep the things like Konami from shutting down my videos, which recently happened.
Saw that.
Yeah, fucking, what am I really going to complain about? I was like, God, but at the same time, I'm like, you idiots. This is free promotion. Because I'm going to be hyped about this thing. Anyways, I don't want to go down. I don't want to. Leave it alone.
That is right. See, I get them because there's one band that I use almost exclusively music. It's called The Senseless. It's a guy called Sam Bean. Used to do the Berserker, and now he has his own stuff. And we became friends when it was very early in the Berserker's career, and I had put out a good review, and he just sent me an email saying thank you so much. And that became our friendship. Was just so I use his music now, and he gave me a written license. I can use his music for anything I want.
That's awesome.
Free of charge for as long as he lives. And I've gotten a lot of copyright strikes with his music, and I just throw the email out. I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah, fuck off. Yeah.
It's a good feeling, bro.
That's
a good feeling.
Yeah, knowing creators and stuff like that, I mean, I don't even want to go down this route. There's some current stuff with, my channel and the topic that I cover with Warframe where, to me, I feel like there's a little bit of competition, but it doesn't really need to be, a big deal. And some people are taking it to some point. I'm like, well, maybe they're really young and they don't understand how things work yet. It's like, it's actually better to work together, than to try to create some sense of competition that really doesn't need to exist, because different personalities bring different aspects. And I curse a lot, and I've been told by my audience, a very vocal minority that doesn't stick around, that I shouldn't curse very much. And I've actually curbed myself a lot. Although I'm sure I've said a lot of F-bombs here. It depends on who I'm talking to. If I talk to someone like you, I'm really comfortable because I kind of feel like I know your attitude a bit. And it helps that I, listen to some of your stuff. Now you don't remind me of Louis C.K., and maybe it's how you record and you transpose it or something later on, or it transcodes through YouTube or something that it sounds different. But
to be honest, if there's a reason for it, I think it has to do with I have what I call a podcasting voice and a podcasting tone.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
When I'm not running the show, I'm different, and when someone asks me something or engages me in something, it's different. When I'm doing the content, my tone changes, and I'm a bit
totally
more
understand.
And I think my mind works in a similar way to that fella, where he thinks of something like my favorite thing of his, and not to go off on a tangent, but fuck it, you're going to edit this anyways.
This is the bull? No, this is not going to be edited. This is literally called the bullshit because that's what it is. I am bullshitting with you like a buddy because fucking that's what I'm going to do.
Well, good. Yeah. My favorite one ever is where he talks about Wi-Fi on an airplane.
Oh, yeah.
And for those of you that haven't heard this, I know that Jan's heard this, but for you guys, Louis goes onto a plane, and they say at the beginning, "Hey, we've got Wi-Fi on the plane. You're one of the first flights to get it, and we'd like you to test it so that we can make this a thing moving forward." They go up, and all of a sudden he's on YouTube and he's surfing. He says, "It's amazing." Yeah. And about 10, 15 minutes into it, they're like, "Well, we've had some problems with the network. We have to take it down. We're awfully sorry, but thank you for helping us test." And there's a guy just beside her, just ahead of Louis, who goes, "It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit." and his retort is, "You do not have the right to be upset that something broke you didn't even know existed 10 minutes ago." Yeah. And it's just like with the cell phone thing. It stopped working. It was like weird for like a minute once. Yeah, it's amazing. We go through. I think if there's a reason for my relatively calm attitude, which does border on apologist sometimes, I'll admit, it's because I remember what it was like when we didn't have these opportunities, when we didn't have these experiences. The fact that I can pretty much do anything I want, wherever I want, whenever I want, is just. Frankly, it makes my dick hard. I love it. It's amazing.
I said, that same idea is. I'm helping to develop a video game. Right. These people are listening to me. When I was a kid, that was my fucking dream. Come on.
It's tantamount to the impossible.
Yeah.
So where we get these experiences, and I think Warframe and Destiny is the same thing. Not only are you changing the game that you are currently playing, you're changing the game yet to be played.
Exactly.
And I think a lot of it has to do with many of the people that we would call our peers that we play with in our respective game worlds grew up in the internet age. We didn't.
Right.
And to them, it should be handed to them because the internet is free and there's always a way to get something for free. And I don't disparage that thought process, because I do believe that all art should be free. I do believe that everyone's entitled to have their opinion and to express it. It's when that crosses into only I am right, you will listen, fuck you. That's when I go, oh, that's why I'm sorry, son, you can't do that. It's not how this works. It's going back to that tweet you were talking about where I said, I don't know at what point I had to preface, it became a thing for me to preface, this is my opinion when I give an opinion. It's mine, belongs to me. You don't have to agree with it. My opinion is not here to negate yours. I'm simply trying to express myself.
That's what it was. It's like, that's what you said. And that's the part that I left out is my opinion is not trying to negate your experience. The funny thing is, I have to say that on the Warframe forums so often for other people, because other people, someone will state something, some fuckhead will come in and say, oh, well, that's not, that didn't happen to me, so therefore, and I'm like, you stupid son of a bitch. Of course, I don't say that. I'm really nice and clean because I'm trying to set a fucking example. Jesus Christ, who am I? I'm trying to set examples for people? But I'm trying to set an example of like, you don't really need to deal with it that way. I know this is the internet and anyone can be a dick, but guess what? The internet's going to change. This is our reality a lot of the time. Well, it is for me a lot of the time. So I don't want my place to be shitty all over the place. I don't want people just dropping in saying, hey, what's up, fuckface? If you're my friend, totally cool. Random person, earn that respect.
Exactly. Thanks for having me on here. It was really a lot of fun. If you like the sound of my sultry voice, you can hear it over at youtube.grindheadgym.com, or anything I do is accessible through grindheadgym.com, Twitter @grindheadgym, and fuck it, just search me, Google Grindhead Gym. You will find everything I've ever done because I'm the only guy out there with that name.
True.
So this was an amazing thing. We should do it again sometime.
All right, that's it. That's Grindhead Jim. I keep leaving that track in there for y'all to hear at the very end because you should check his stuff out. He's got a lot of interesting experiences he's gone through his life. There's a whole series on that he's done for his time being a Marine. It was really interesting. He talks about it very matter-of-factly, gives a little bit of his own opinion, of course, but check him out. He's got a great channel, and you know how it is when you're a small YouTuber. I'm a small YouTuber. Who the fuck am I talking about like I'm some big shit fuck? You know how it is. We all have a hard time initially with the production value and the quality of the stuff that we're recording, but as far as the audio and stuff like that's concerned. But he recently was able to up his game a little bit on the tech side, so go send him some congrats. I'm sure he'll appreciate that. Fuck, I can't talk. It's because the coffee. I'm just amped. I'm just like yeah. I was listening to some people talking about some stuff about the, I'm all like fired up now. One last thing. I got to throw some thanks out there to everybody that's been showing us some love, that's been sharing on Twitter. Twitter's a big thing. People see it. If you share it on Twitter, try to hashtag it Warframe and hashtag it Destiny the game. Send it out there. Get people to, listen to it, see what's going on. If you guys enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, don't share it. Don't like. I appreciate the comments. I really do. This is like, clearly I really am passionate about this specific project. I really like doing this, and once again, if you feel like you got some chops, feel like you can riff on some shit, hit me up and we'll talk. All right, but okay guys, that's it. I'll let you all go, and we'll see you next time.